I spend so many nights.
From the bustling sidewalks of Dublin to the dazzling screens of millions worldwide, the story of Allie Sherlock seems like a modern-day fairy tale. We've all seen the clips, a young girl with a powerful voice and a guitar, stopping busy crowds in their tracks, her raw talent undeniable. She's the viral sensation who charmed her way onto The Ellen Show, captured the attention of music industry titans like Ryan Tedder, and even earned a coveted shout-out from global superstar Justin Bieber. It's a polished narrative of discovery, dedication, and meteoric rise to fame that few artists ever get to experience. But behind the headlines and the hundreds of millions of views, a much more complex and harrowing story has been playing out, one that the viral videos don't show. This isn't just a story about music, it's a story of profound personal tragedy, of escaping relentless torment, and of navigating a shocking public controversy that threatened to derail her career before it had even truly begun. What happens when the spotlight you've always dreamed of suddenly becomes an interrogation lamp? What is the real price of turning a childhood passion into a multi-million-dollar enterprise while you're still a teenager? We've dug deep into the Allie Sherlock file, past the feel-good moments and viral covers to uncover the heartbreaking challenges, the shocking betrayals, and the untold stories that forged one of the most compelling young artists of our time. The Allie Sherlock story you think you know is far from the whole truth, and what we've found reveals a journey far more turbulent and inspiring than anyone imagined. It's a tale that forces us to ask what's real, what's for show, and what truly happens when a young girl's dream collides with the brutal reality of fame. And it all begins not with a song, but with a devastating silence. Long before her voice echoed down Grafton Street, Allie Sherlock's world was shattered by a profound and life-altering loss. At the tender age of just 9, she faced a heartbreak that most adults could never comprehend: the death of her mother. This wasn't just a sad chapter in her biography, it was the defining event that reshaped her entire existence and unknowingly set the stage for the artist she would become. The transcript of her life reveals this moment as a critical turning point, a deep well of pain from which her later music would draw its startling emotional depth. Imagine a child on the cusp of her own life, having to navigate the world without the guidance and comfort of her mother. This devastating loss created a void, a silence in her life that needed to be filled. For many, such a tragedy could lead to a retreat from the world, a loss of voice and confidence. And for a time, it did. This period of grief was intensely private, yet it laid the foundational stone for her public expression. It is said that the most powerful art comes from the deepest pain, and Allie's journey seems to be a testament to that. Her later performances, noted for their raw emotional power, can be seen in a new light when you understand their origins. Her ability to channel such mature themes of loss and love into her music wasn't just a technical skill, it was born from a very real and personal experience. This early life tragedy became an invisible collaborator in her songwriting, giving her a perspective and an emotional maturity far beyond her years. It's the heartbreaking silent backstory to every powerful note she sings, a poignant reminder that the brightest lights are often cast from the darkest shadows. This singular event is the key to understanding the resilience and depth that would soon captivate the world. In the wake of her mother's passing, Allie's life took another dark turn, as she became the target of relentless bullying during her formative years in primary school. This wasn't just childhood teasing. The transcript indicates the torment was so severe and unbearable that by 2016, it prompted a drastic decision to leave the traditional school system entirely. At just 11 years old, she was forced to abandon the classroom for the sanctuary of homeschooling, a move made not by choice, but out of a desperate need to escape the endless psychological torment. This chapter of her life is crucial. It reveals a young girl who was being silenced by her peers at the very moment she needed to find her voice the most. While her home became her new classroom, it was the streets of Dublin that became her true stage of recovery. Busking wasn't just a way to earn a few euros or practice her chords, it was an act of defiance. It was a way to reclaim the confidence that had been stripped from her in the schoolyard. On Grafton Street, surrounded by strangers, she could be judged for her talent alone, not for her personal tragedies or for being different. Music became her shield and her weapon, a way to build a new identity forged in melody rather than misery. Her father, Mark, recognizing his daughter's need for an outlet, played a pivotal role, encouraging her and meticulously documenting these early performances. Every video uploaded to YouTube was another step away from the pain of her past, another brick in the fortress of her newfound identity. The street became her sanctuary, the place where the girl who was bullied into silence could finally stand tall and sing her heart out, loud enough for the whole world to eventually hear. This escape from torment wasn't just a footnote in her story. It was the very act that put her directly in the public eye. The transition from a tormented schoolgirl to a global phenomenon didn't happen overnight, but it was ignited by a single powerful spark. While Allie had been busking and her father, Mark, had been uploading videos to her YouTube channel since 2014, it was in 2017 that everything changed. Her raw, emotionally charged cover of Ed Sheeran's Supermarket Flowers, a song itself about losing a mother, became a lightning rod for viewers worldwide. This performance was more than just a good cover. It was a moment of pure, unadulterated emotional transference. Viewers didn't just hear her sing, they felt the story behind her voice, even if they didn't know the specifics of her past. The video exploded online, catapulting her from a well-known Dublin busker to a viral internet sensation. This was the turning point. The digital world had found its next star, not in a polished studio, but on a cobblestone street. Her YouTube channel, once a simple archive of her performances, became a global stage, amassing hundreds of millions of views. One unforgettable moment that cemented her reputation for authenticity came when a spectator challenged her to sing the Italian portion of Perfect Symphony. Instead of shying away, she invited the man to join her, resulting in a breathtaking duet that showcased her spontaneity and connection with her audience. This wasn't a manufactured pop product. This was real, raw, and happening live for anyone to see. The way she infused her songs with an emotional depth and a unique vocal inflection was mesmerizing, proving that her talent was as real as the pavement she stood on. This viral explosion wasn't just luck, it was the inevitable collision of profound talent, deep-seated emotion, and the democratic power of the internet. The world was now watching, and the biggest names in the entertainment industry were about to come calling. The digital shockwave from her viral videos quickly reached the shores of America, and Hollywood took notice. The first major sign that Allie Sherlock was transcending her status as a YouTube star came in 2018, when at just 12 years old she received an invitation to perform on one of the biggest platforms in the world, The Ellen DeGeneres Show. This was her official coronation in the eyes of mainstream America. Walking onto that famous stage, she delivered a stunning and unforgettable acoustic rendition of Adele's Million Years Ago, captivating the live audience and millions more watching at home. The performance was a resounding success, establishing her as a legitimate artist with immense potential. But behind the scenes, an even more significant development was unfolding. Ryan Tedder, the Grammy-winning frontman of OneRepublic and a highly respected music producer, had discovered Allie through her Instagram posts. Intrigued by her extraordinary talent, he brought her to Los Angeles to collaborate. This trip culminated in the ultimate validation for a young musician, a 5-year record deal with Patriot Records, Tedder's own renowned label. This was the golden ticket. Signing with a figure like Tedder signified a massive breakthrough, granting her access to a level of industry expertise and a global platform that street performing alone could never provide. It was a clear signal that her talent wasn't just a fleeting viral moment, it was a bankable commodity with long-term potential. In a whirlwind, Allie had gone from singing for spare change on Grafton Street to signing a major record deal and being courted by the giants of the music industry. Her dream was becoming a reality, but this new level of fame would soon bring a new set of challenges, including a shocking and unexpected clash with another one of her idols. For any aspiring young artist, getting noticed by one of their idols is the ultimate dream. For Allie Sherlock, that dream came true in the form of a public endorsement from one of the biggest superstars on the planet, Justin Bieber. In February 2020, Bieber himself shared Allie's soulful rendition of his song Intentions directly to his own Instagram account, a platform with hundreds of millions of followers. In an instant, her music and her face were broadcast to a global audience of a magnitude she had never before experienced. This single act of recognition from Bieber provided a massive surge in her profile, a priceless seal of approval that sent her credibility and visibility into the stratosphere. The two artists reportedly struck up a cordial relationship, with Allie regarding him as a genuinely nice person. This connection was more than just a fleeting social media moment. It was a powerful alliance. To the outside world, it appeared that Allie had been officially welcomed into the exclusive club of global pop royalty, championed by one of its most prominent members. This period represented a new peak in her career. She was a viral sensation, a signed artist with a major label, and now she was co-signed by Justin Bieber. Everything was seemingly falling into place perfectly. The positive momentum seemed unstoppable as she continued to grow her fan base and release her own music, including 2 EPs in 2020. This superstar endorsement was the final piece of the puzzle, cementing her status as a legitimate rising star. However, this dream-come-true connection was built on the fickle foundation of social media, and what happened next would prove just how quickly a supportive relationship could fracture under the intense pressure of the public eye. The friendly bond she had formed with Bieber was about to be tested in the most public and shocking way imaginable. The seemingly perfect trajectory of Allie's rise was abruptly and shockingly interrupted in the summer of 2020. The dream of being championed by Justin Bieber turned into a public nightmare following Blackout Tuesday, a day when the music industry and social media users went silent to show solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. In what reports describe as a moment of unfortunate timing, Allie made an Instagram post shortly after the event, asking her followers what one thing they couldn't do without. The post, seemingly innocuous on its own, was perceived by some, including Bieber, as tone-deaf and a missed opportunity to use her significant platform to advocate against racism. What followed was a stunning and public rebuke. Justin Bieber, the very superstar who had recently promoted her music, took to her comments section to voice his disappointment, critiquing her stance on the matter multiple times. It's been said that Bieber was genuinely let down, suggesting she wasn't using her platform effectively during a crucial moment of social reckoning. This wasn't a private message, it was a public shaming from a global icon, playing out for all their followers to see. The weight of Bieber's criticism placed Allie in an incredibly difficult and vulnerable position, as she was suddenly grappling with intense scrutiny from an artist she admired. The backlash was immediate and intense. The incident strained their once cordial relationship and thrust the young singer into the center of a heated and complex cultural conversation she may not have been prepared for. The very platform that had built her career was now the arena for her most significant public controversy. A stark reminder of the perils of modern fame, where every post is scrutinized and an alliance can shatter in an instant. Facing a firestorm of criticism led by one of the most powerful figures in pop music, Allie Sherlock found herself in an impossible position. In response to the backlash in Bieber's public remarks, she attempted to clarify her situation, revealing a side of the story that added a new layer of complexity to the controversy. Allie explained that she had in fact participated in Blackout Tuesday by posting a black square, just as millions of others had done. However, she claimed that she had removed her post after facing a wave of what she described as hostility from some online individuals. This defense painted a picture of a young artist caught in a digital crossfire. On one side, she faced pressure to be a vocal activist and use her platform for social change, a demand amplified by Bieber's public critique. On the other, she alleged she was receiving negative feedback for her initial attempt at solidarity. This difficult moment highlighted the immense and often contradictory pressures placed on young influencers. They are expected to be role models, activists, and entertainers simultaneously, all while navigating the often toxic environment of social media. Regardless of the specifics, Allie remained resolute, staying focused on her musical endeavors throughout the difficult period. She continued to move forward, releasing 2 EPs, one self-titled and another called A Part of Me, demonstrating a commitment to her craft despite the external drama. This incident, however, served as a harsh lesson in the realities of 21st century stardom. It showed that having a platform is one thing, but knowing how to navigate its treacherous currents is another entirely. Her response suggested a young woman trying to find her footing under an intense and unforgiving spotlight, learning in real time that in the court of public opinion, you can be judged just as harshly for what you do as for what you don't. While the emotional drama of Allie's career is compelling, another side of her story has become a source of intense public fascination: her incredible financial success. How does a young street performer from Cork, Ireland, build a multi-million-dollar empire before she can even legally drink? The numbers are staggering. As of 2021, her YouTube channel boasted over 5 million subscribers and had amassed over 800 million views. Monetized channels like hers can generate significant revenue, with estimates typically ranging from $3 to $7 per 1,000 views. Digging deeper, reports from that time suggested her channel was receiving nearly 13.19 million monthly views, translating to a potential annual income of approximately $791,000 from YouTube ads alone. Her net worth was estimated to be around $1.5 million, but some projections, considering all revenue streams, suggested it could be closer to $4.43 million. But her income isn't limited to YouTube. Her revenue streams are diversified, including her 5-year record deal with Patriot Records, income from live performances and tours, lucrative sponsorships, and brand endorsements that leverage her massive social media following on platforms like Instagram and Facebook, where she has millions of followers. She has effectively harnessed her online influence to market her music and collaborate with brands, creating a robust financial portfolio. This financial success story is a testament to her hard work, her father's early business acumen, and her ability to connect with a global audience. It transforms the narrative from one of a simple, talented busker into one of a savvy young entrepreneur who has turned her passion into a highly profitable international business, all while navigating the unpredictable world of fame. When you piece together the fragments of Allie Sherlock's journey, the final picture is one of extreme and powerful contrasts. This is a story that begins with the silence of grief and the pain of being bullied, only to be answered by a voice strong enough to command the attention of the world. It's the story of a girl who used a Dublin street corner as a launchpad to the biggest stages in music, proving that raw talent can still triumph in a highly manufactured industry. She is the artist who received the dream endorsement from a superstar like Justin Bieber, only to then endure the nightmare of a public rebuke from that very same idol, a trial by fire played out for millions to see. Her career is a masterclass in modern fame, showcasing both its incredible power to elevate and its terrifying capacity to wound. She has weathered storms that would have broken seasoned veterans, from personal loss to public controversy, and has emerged with her career not just intact but thriving. She turned her heartfelt performances into a multi-million-dollar enterprise, yet reports claim she remains committed to her roots, still finding time to return to the streets where it all began. But as she moves forward, the ultimate question remains. Having already achieved so much, can she maintain the raw, unfiltered authenticity that first captured our hearts? Or will the immense pressures of the music industry, the demands of her record label, and the unforgiving nature of the public eye eventually smooth out the very edges that made her so compelling in the first place? Her past has shown she has the resilience to survive. Her future will reveal if she has the will to stay true to the girl with the guitar who just wanted to sing. The content provided in this script is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The narrative has been created based on publicly available information, including the provided transcript, news articles, interviews, and online discussions. While every effort has been made to ensure accuracy, we cannot guarantee that all information presented is entirely complete, current, or correct. This script contains discussions of rumors, public controversies, and financial estimations that are speculative in nature and should not be considered as established fact. This content is not affiliated with, endorsed by, or in any way officially connected with Allie Sherlock, her family, her management, or any of her representatives. The views and opinions expressed herein are those of the author and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any other agency, organization, employer, or company. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Some